hopefully everyone's had a chance to review the minutes from last month's meeting. If there are no changes, we'll move forward and approve them as written.
Treasurer clerk report.
Yes, just
Got both.
acknowledge.
Receive the treasurer and clerk's reports. We'll start out with department reports. That was a great question.
I think it has to be red, so it needs to be turned on. There you go.
There we go.
There it is.
Okay. So I've given you guys my staffing update. We're fully staffed with the deputies right now. Aubrey McNeely is in the field training program right now. Corrections, we have 21 budgeted positions. 17 of those are filled, 4 in the hiring process. Actually, we got one that just started, so we're coming along with that. Communications, we have 11 budgeted positions. We have at least 2 openings. Community corrections, we have a field officer position that's in the interview phase. I think we actually offered him a job. Always hiring, always interviewing, always testing. If you're interested, contact the sheriff's office. We'll get you an application. I have my jail numbers. 96 was the average for detention and 30 for work release. And I sent the quarterly commissary thing to everybody. I sent it to Mike, and I just have the brief one there at the back. Is there any questions or concerns?
With that in mind, the quarterly commissary report will start being treated as we do the clerk and treasurer. I'll send it out, and then we'll just acknowledge it. We have to acknowledge it in the meeting, so.
So Mike, can I send that to you? And
Yeah,
you'll
just
disperse
send
it?
it to me and I'll send it.
Because I, with the county council thing, whenever I sent that out, I didn't know if that was actually a good thread.
Yeah, just send it to me, and I send it with the packet of it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Erica and AJ with EMS. You've got your junior report numbers there. Princeton, there was 288 runs. South Gibson, 68. Oakland, 91. And Owensville, 43. There was a total of 83 transfers out of Deaconess Gibson Hospital. The Indiana Rural Health Grow Grant that I was talking to you guys about before, everything was turned in, and we have been chosen by the Region 8, and they are waiting on the state to come back with 100% approval. We chose to do the direct deposit rule, so it will be direct deposited. I've already got with Mike and Christy on all of that. It covers supplies, fuel, vehicle, salaries, point of care testing, all of that, and it for 5 years, and they will give us it in every year increments. The only thing that the person would have to be covered on is the insurance, and whenever it gets closer to time, probably not gonna be like till September, I would come back and talk to you guys about that. We're also working on an amendment to the contract for that person, that even though if they do get hired and we get that grant, that if whenever the 5 years is up, you guys don't want to keep that position, they'll be released from their job duties, and they won't be able to ask for to keep a position or layoff pay. That way so they can't come back on that. We were in the 4th of July parade. We were out at the fair all week. Total bring-in is on there. We've been having issues with our internet, but they're still working on getting that direct Wi-Fi fiber put into us, so we're still on the bouncing off of the courthouse.
We're fully staffed right now. We had a new hire that started today, that Dr. Gilbert hired. He's a new full-time hire. He replaced Ralph Hoffman, who retired, and then we have 4 part-time positions that he just filled, and they're in orientation right now. That's all we've got for you.
I think so. Any questions?
Thank you.
Any other department reports? We had a good did you have? I had a good read. Do you have anything? Kind of. Sure.
Do you guys have any questions about our numbers? Julie at the Health Department? Any questions? Okay. I was just gonna mention that, there is a microscopic parasite. I don't know if everybody's heard about it or not, but I'm gonna mangle this, I hope not. Cyclosporiasis. But it actually, let me pull my notes because I didn't have everything. You can reduce it by hand washing, and then like pre-washing your vegetables and stuff. Has to do with the steamy environment and all that. So it's like sitting on the vegetables and staying there longer. It's really bad in northern states, but it is trickling down into here. As of July, there was 122 cases here. And it does cause not so nice symptoms to your belly and things. Like food poisoning, it goes away in so many days or whatever. Sometimes this requires an antibiotic. So I'm just reminding everybody, wash your hands, wash your veggies. So that's it. That's all I have. And we were at the fair and had a good time there and passed out a lot of helpful information and gave out first aid kits and all that. So I don't have anything else. It's school time. We're getting back to school, getting immunizations going. So that's all I have. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Not necessarily a department report, but there was a redevelopment commission meeting last night that was calm. We had quite a few speakers. I think got a lot of feedback that it was a really good meeting, and I think was good moving forward. I wanted to have Bob give a report real quick on that as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of good information I thought was brought out from the public and also from members of the commissioners and county council and the redevelopment. So a lot of information was made a lot clearer, and I think that it went pretty well. We would have another meeting on the 10th, and might be deciding then as far as the fate of the TIF district. So we didn't really, well, we did have a motion, didn't quite carry, but we'll be continuing on working with everybody to make sure that hopefully we'll get something everybody is happy with, and it's some sort of compromise that'll work for everyone. And that'll be next month and all.
Excellent. Thank you. Old business, jail demolition update.
Good morning. Garmon's going to tell us more about, we did have our second bid opening for phase 2 that was done last week. You want to come up and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Dan Alcorn, Garmon Construction. We had 2 bid events to seek competitive bids for the demolition of the existing jail. There's 7 total bid packages, and we had 25 total bidders on the 2 bid events. Both bid events are complete, and we're ready to move forward with the project, and we're just seeking authorization of funding to support the project.
I might add that the commissioners have already approved the bid on the first phase. I think it was 691.
Correct.
691,000. And then the bid for the second phase come in after their meeting, so that'll be brought to their board this coming Tuesday for the second phase of that project. We had to do it in 2 phases. So today, I think mainly we're asking for approval to move forward on phase 1, which is actually starting the demolition of the 48 and 89 jail. We've got permission from the city to close Emerson Street. Street's going to get bonded for the city. So we're kind of wanting to see what the council wants to do.
We need a motion
I think it's only glorious I'm the first one to speak on this.
I think we need
I
to-
can finally quit asking you the question, where are we at on the
Yeah.
process of tearing the jail down?
I got an answer now.
Yeah, from a council perspective, I think financially, we want to get our numbers together to advertise at next month's meeting.
Okay.
So we can advertise the correct, where we're gonna take it from. And then, that'll be advertised for a month, starting August meeting, and then the money would be available in September.
Do you want to advertise for,
I think we bring them both next month, so
That's
we can
what
get
I
them
was
both
gonna ask.
advertised, George, and just, can we put into the record a dollar figure for the second?
yeah, the total with the two packages is 1.3.
1.3.
1.3 million. That includes contingency fees and then there's some.
That includes the parking lots finished, the curbing's
Yeah,
done, everything. Jail's gone, parking lot's there, curbing's done.
Yeah, that should be lighting for the parking lot, security cameras for the parking lot. Then it also has a fence that goes all the way around, like where the radio tower is. We don't want people to have access to that. Also, we have a gas pump and a gas tank underground in that same area. Obviously, we don't want people to have access to that gas tank or be able to even see it. We'd just soon they not be able to, as a security measure.
That includes like the paving and stuff.
That includes paving, striping of the parking lot.
That number's all in.
That's everything.
I was thinking that if there was a motion today to, that would give the commissioners confidence to move forward, we could approve the dollar amount, commit to it, and then, yeah, like Derek said, between now and the August meeting, get our ducks in a row about where it may come from multiple sources, and have all that ready so that we could advertise it and vote on it in September.
I'll make a motion to commit to the bid 1 and bid 2 dollar amount pending our August advertisings and everything that we'll have to go through.
Second.
Quick second and third. Any other discussion, guys? Any discussion?
George, I know it's been a lot of work on your part, and it's greatly appreciated.
Well, it's I finally get to the point where you may take me off this old business thing.
We might just rename that line. We probably need to vote.
All right, we have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is that 7? Did I see
Thanks,
7
Jim.
down there?
Thank you.
We only have 6.
6-0. Thank you. Long-awaited end to the, that entire project, so. Next up, wheel and excise tax, Matt Holden. Matt, you look a little rough today, buddy.
Obviously, he's tied up. We're smack dab in the middle of our paving. And I do not have all the figures, but I know with the suspension of the gas tax that Governor Braun did, and the way he's moving, wanting everything to be funded locally with less help from the state, once again, the wheel tax is critical to continue to keep our roads in the shape that they are. So Matt's pushing that you guys move forward with, whether it's raising it in increments, whether something, but some type of program to help secure more funds. I know he made a comment to me the other day where if funding stays as it is, we will be able to pave each road in the county once every 60 years. As you all know, once every 60 years, they're gonna continue to deteriorate and fall apart. So funding is becoming critical. The state has made it to where they want local to take care of more things, and that's where we stand. So, like I said, he has all the facts and figures, but he's tied up.
Any other old business? We can move on to new business. Mike Cochran? I still had, we're not doing it.
Good morning. I come to you with a kind of an odd request, I think. I'm actually seeking to reduce staff. We have, in the last month, my chief deputy, has decided to make a career move, and then, my 4D attorney has decided to take another opportunity, so I'm down to just two of us. With our caseloads, that's, that's an issue. The issue, though, is really the 4D attorney slot that we have. We have two slots. We have a deputy prosecutor slot and the 4D attorney slot. To give you a little history, in my 9 years, going on 10 years, I've had 5 4D attorneys. So in my tenure, they've averaged 2 years, but it's actually less than that, because if you give the time every time one leaves, there's a gap there, and then we have to train them when they get in. So, and then if you look at my predecessor, Judge Craig, former prosecutor Craig, in his 14 years, he had no less than 7, and we think maybe 8 4D prosecutors. So they average less than 2 years under his watch as well. The problem is, and it's just reality, it's like a lot of things in life, the problem is money. As soon as we hire someone, the first thing they're doing is looking for better opportunities. And every time someone's left, it's not, I don't think it's a culture in our office, I think it's just they've left for better opportunities, whether that be in the private sector or some other office somewhere else. And so it's a problem. I can tell you the last 2 times that I've had that position open, I literally got 3-4 resumes. Okay, so it forces us to hire whoever applies, kind of thing, which I haven't always done that. I've chosen to leave that slot open at times, rather than hire just whoever applies. Currently, that position pays $83,320. I've provided you with a memo, which has a chart on the back, back page basically, that kind of gives you an idea of the pay. My proposal is this. My proposal is to eliminate the 1 deputy position we have, keep the 4D position, and increase the pay substantially in the 4D position. I'm requesting that pay go up to $120,000. If you look, if we do it under the 4D position, if I actually eliminate a position, even though we're raising that pay substantially due to federal reimbursements, it'll actually save the county almost $70,000.
We get half back, right? Is it half or
2/3.
2/3 back?
So if I eliminate the deputy position that is funded by the county, and then transfer, if we raise the pay substantially to where I get a very good quality candidate who's going to want to be here, who has an economic incentive to be here, okay, that individual's likely to stay here a lot longer. Because I can tell you statewide this is a problem, okay? It's not unique to Gibson County. It's not anything my office is doing. At least I don't think so. To give you an idea, that the deputy in Vandenberg County makes $89,000, so they'd make a little bit more. I can almost assure you that if this action is taken, I'm going to get a groundswell of applicants for that job. The people who want that job, who then would be, reality is, economically tied to the job, okay? And I'm going to get a much better quality candidate for that position. And I won't be back here. I know you get told things a lot by various folks. I'm not coming back here and asking you to reopen that slot and then keep this pay. If that's the case, then you got to look at me and go, well, you're going to have to cut that person's pay, and then we'll go back to the old system if that's where it goes. Our office has managed during those time periods with 3 attorneys fairly effectively. I don't think you'll see a cut in the service that we provide to the taxpayers. And so I realize that's a substantial jump, but again, it also would save the county almost $70,000. And so from my perspective, this is an urgent scenario. I mean, we're just, somebody getting the flu away from having a real problem and being able to handle the courts. One attorney cannot handle 1,300 cases that are filed every year that are brought to us by law enforcement. And so that's my request of you, to allow me, upon my 4D attorney, in fairness to him, he's been sticking around for a little while, but it's anticipated he'll be leaving by the end of the week or early next week.
So he's given notice?
Yes, he has given notice. So this is an urgent scenario for me. I suspect if you approve this, and I'm not just speculating, I sincerely believe if you approve it, I can have another attorney in here probably within 2 weeks that has experience with little training, who, quite frankly, is looking to move from a position where they're making $85,000 to a substantial pay raise for them. It would be a substantial quality of life issue for that person, so in terms of economics.
So currently, as we sit, we're budgeted for prosecutor, chief deputy prosecutor, and 2 deputies at 4 currently.
You are not budgeted for the prosecutor or the chief deputy prosecutor. Those are state-funded offices.
Okay.
So it's the
2 deputies?
It's the 2 deputies,
Okay.
but you get reimbursement of 2/3 of the 1 deputy.
And you're wanting to take those 2 into the 1? I'm just
Correct.
cleaning up, making sure the record.
I want to take those 2 into the 1 and make that the 4D attorney so that we maximize our federal subsidies, that we get reimbursed for what we pay out of there, including.
And you're satisfied with that move? The caseload won't be impacted as far as?
I'm satisfied with that move for a couple reasons. One, I'm going to get an attorney in here, I think, that is capable of handling any and all issues we have, including high-level felonies. I would get a better quality candidate, and that's not to disparage anybody who's had the job. I had the job at one time, by the way, and I moved on for better economic opportunities. So, I'm not disparaging anyone who does it. It's just a stepping stone position. I'm trying to eliminate the stepping stone part of this. And I think the caseload is manageable. We managed, there was a gap of almost 1.5 years where we did not have a 4D attorney. We managed fine with 3 of us. So it's, that's where I'm at with it. And
Historically, when we make a move like this, you've heard me say leapfrog. Regardless of where the funds come from, how the 4D is paid, how much it costs us, counterparts come to say that they are entitled to or should get something like that. Is this a case where it's clear cut, the caseload, the work that the 4D attorney is doing is going to hold up if court-appointed attorneys or someone else comes and says, hey, how come they're making $120,000? We're doing the same work.
sure.
Because that's what's so far always happened.
I understand.
Anytime we've made changes in the judicial branch, I guess.
I understand. I would contend to you that if you're looking at court-appointed attorneys, those are contracts. Those are part-time contracts, by the way, so you're paying them a part-time number. This is a full-time job. It's not a part-time job, and it's reimbursed. I don't know what the reimbursements are on public defenders. I don't know if the state does any reimbursements on those or not. But those contracts, like I said, those are part-time contracts. There would be no way, in my opinion, of course, you know, attorneys would argue anything, to justify paying a part-time position the same as this 4D position, which would be a full-time position. It's just, to me, it's apples and oranges in terms of the two jobs. Any of the attorneys who have the public defender contracts are all in private practice, other than Ms. Moody. They're in private practice. They all have their own, outside of the public defender contract, they have their own caseloads. And I mean, that would be the comparison. And again, it's not, those people do their jobs well. There's no disparagement of them at all. In terms of, and I'm not ever trying to keep what you pay them is your business with them. I'm not trying to comment that you should or should not pay them what they make, and they earn what they make. So, from that standpoint, I don't see a leapfrog scenario here at all. It's not comparing two positions in the same. You know I came to you, but with recently with a paralegal issue, that was comparing two positions that do similar work. This is not that, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I rarely can come to you and tell you I can save you 70 grand. And that's taxpayer money, so.
I mean, we'd have to give him permission today to move forward with hiring, but we can't move in salary ordinance till September. Right? Or can we can't vote on a salary ordinance during a budget hearing, can we?
I didn't know anything about this.
Right, we'd have to prepare a salary ordinance. You're aware of that, right? Any change would have to be a salary ordinance preparation.
Whatever it takes.
Any questions from anybody?
How it would work out from a payroll
For the
standpoint.
prosecutor.
We need to call a special meeting prior to next week budget hearing to vote on it.
We have to publicize it. It's probably.
Okay. I'm asking, sorry, I'm asking just for the sake of getting the salary ordinance finished before the payroll that would come. I don't know how that would work if you hired somebody and told them they weren't gonna get paid until the council officially approved it.
I don't.
Though it's been done in the past. I mean,
Sure.
it has. I don't think we can vote on a salary ordinance during our regular budget hearing, but we could potentially call a special meeting, advertise it, which I have the ability to do outside a meeting, right? We don't have to do that. We don't have to vote on having a special meeting.
No.
Okay.
And the guys, as far as the timing goes, just so you know, I mean, this was thrust upon me, 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And we were obviously very busy with other things, so.
Right.
I didn't have any opportunity to get this. This is the first opportunity I've ever had to get this issue.
We frequently, for departments, approve that the department head or that the commissioners go ahead with the hiring process, but then we have to get the paperwork done to get the.
I understand. there's a
So
process.
I'm just looking at, another budget meeting next week to go line by line. If it's not possible to vote during that hearing, we could, potentially call a special meeting before or after and take care of that item. If necessary, but we'll figure that out and then we'll move forward from there.
We can make a vote today.
Does anybody have any
pending
questions?
the approval of the salary. That's
We
absolutely-
could
That
allow,
way he's got confidence in what
I
we're
think
doing.
you could approve everything today, and I could, as long as you,
Word it.
say what it is, then,
I can pay whatever, and as long as we have something to point back to prior to the amendment.
Then we wouldn't even have to have a special meeting. We could just approve it in the August.
I like
meeting.
that better.
Good job, Logan. That sounds.
I will like whatever you decide. Obviously, I want you to decide in favor of it. You may vote not. I mean, and that is what it is. That's what your job is.
You want to move forward and he can.
And I respect that.
I don't know how it needs to be worded. You just need to state that
What?
you're gonna go ahead with the hiring process and that you're good to pay him prior to the salary. I guess
Our
it's all laid out here, I think we're good.
Our salary ordinance, is it state 2 chief deputies, or how is that worded in the salary ordinance? Because that would need to be corrected.
It is. deputy prosecutor is in one place, and then. the
Four
other-
Ds in the other,
What's the final number?
4D.
I didn't get one of those.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I
49?
provided you.
49, 47, somewhere back.
Sorry, I get the
Usually I just hit Control F and search for what I'm looking for.
And
It's at the
Mr.
bottom.
Schluter, if you look, in essence, it's the second page shows you how that's,
So, Mr. Cochran, when we do this in the salary ordinance, I'm pretty sure there's a prosecutor line item in your 4D budget. That's where this one would stay.
mhm,
And then we'd eliminate a deputy prosecutor out of your regular prosecutor budget.
correct.
Okay.
And so all we're doing is just increasing that one.
4D line, but we also need to show
One
elimination.
IBD attorney and one, deputy prosecutor. And then.
Mike, we would need to remove the deputy prosecutor, correct? Yeah.
Because the other two are paid by the state, so.
And
So
that
we-
slot is currently open now anyway, so if you remove that slot, nobody's getting affected, no individual. It's currently not being paid out of any budget.
So what we would do, if the council is at will, Bob and Tom, we would zero out that deputy prosecutor and the prosecutor's budget and increase the 4D prosecutor up to this raised pay rate. That would be the salary ordinance correction that we'd have to make. And that would be done, voted on and approved at the August meeting.
And you say that there's no comparison to this to the public defender's office, that they don't have the second I thought that some of them had been put on as employees at one point to be able to get.
I think they get, I think that they get health insurance through their contracts, but it's not comparable in terms of that. I mean, like I said, those are part-time contracts. And, you know, I don't think it's comparable in terms of slotting of money. I mean, certainly if, you know, if there was a request made that the pay goes up, that's up to you guys.
They're
the
not
board.
tied together currently.
No, they're not tied.
Like, we have a bailiff position that's tied to a deputy's position. We don't have that.
They are not,
Okay.
but.
Hey, welcome to the meeting. There's,
Sort of partially true, I guess, not altogether true. The state, whenever they mandate what we pay our public defenders, they do look at prosecutor salaries. You're in compliance right now, but I don't know what's been asked for. I can check and just make sure that's not gonna cause an increase to us. It probably won't, but I don't have enough information to know for sure. But it is, I mean, Mike probably wouldn't know that, but it is somewhat tied. They go through and they review it every year to see what the county, what the prosecutors are paid and what the defense attorneys are paid, whether they're part-time, full-time, whatever they are.
do they calculate in the quantity per, like, how many do you have? 4?
Oh, well, they count how many, like, they're at a .66 caseload.
They count it by caseload, not number.
66%, not 100%.
But this would, your caseloads would increase, obviously,
100%.
as far as per prosecuting attorney.
I guess you could say that to a certain extent.
Right.
I don't ever calculate that part.
Right.
Just because it doesn't, there's no way, there's no benefit, there's no reason to analyze it that way. We don't get reimbursements based on caseloads. Now, the state, I can tell you, there's a movement within the state to do that. There's been studies done that shows that, you know, our county should have 8 deputy prosecutors. So, but I've not calculated that in terms of, because we don't assign cases that way. We assign cases based on court, but, you know, if I'm sick, the next guy's got to come over and do the job. You know, that's just really the reality of it. And they're all capable of being interchangeable. So to say that this case is assigned to attorney B or attorney A, that's not accurate. They're assigned to all of us. And that's how we do our work, just because that's the reality of the situation. People go on vacation, people get sick. You know, I can't go, well, we can't do anything today on Joe Smith's case because prosecutor A is not available. That's not how it works. Which is somewhat different than when a defense attorney is assigned a case. They don't substitute other defense attorneys for that.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have this school would go into effect, do you have an attorney that's waiting to see if this, no?
No, I have not. I've had inquiries made. I'll be honest with that. I have not made a decision and said, well, I'm hiring attorney A or attorney B.
Okay.
I would not have, I don't want to make a promise to
Sure,
where somebody's making a life decision before you folks make a decision.
okay.
You know, it's that type of situation. But it's out there that my office has, you know, gone from 4 to 2 in about a 3-week period of time. And I think this is the best solution to the problem because it's just going to be an ongoing problem. That slot is going to continue to be a problem. I mean, and if you look at it, like I said, those deputy slots pay $83,000 for a full-time job, in comparison to a public defender contract, which is almost the same amount. And that's not a full-time job.
They don't carry the same caseload then?
Well, like I said, our office doesn't assign cases by caseload. Okay? It's just not possible to do it that way.
I understand that, but you still have a certain number of cases that you're all responsible for.
Yeah, my office is responsible. We filed over 1,300 cases last year, misdemeanors and felonies. And that doesn't include traffic tickets. That doesn't include 4D cases. So there's 2 variables there that, tickets are literally thousands of tickets. The 4D caseload is hundreds of 4D cases. So we manage the office primarily by handling what's in front of us, not, like I said, I don't assign it to a prosecutor and go, okay, you get 600 cases and you get 500 cases. We manage it by court and what's in front of us.
And you're saying though that the public defenders, though, they take on an individual case, each attorney does?
Yes, we all have individual cases. And we represent the person where the prosecutor's office represents the state.
Is there, random question, Lisa, is there, for your prosecutors, your attorneys, not to exceed caseload?
Right.
They got a ceiling.
They have a max of .66.
That's all their caseload is.
Well, except we've been in the red, which is why I had asked to add.
Right.
I asked for, and I'll get into that later. Yeah, we're only supposed to be at a .66.
Gotcha.
They've been over that, and we're in violation.
And you have no max. You just
I have no max.
You gotta work what comes in.
My max is, again, based on the behavior of individuals in our community and based on law enforcement bringing and doing their jobs. And it, I can tell you it's been consistent since I've been in office. I mean, I would like to say it's going down, but the numbers are pretty steady as to the amount of cases we file. And there's a good number, and involved in that as well, if you just look at case numbers, we don't file every case that's brought to us either. So there's an evaluation process too of evaluating cases that don't even turn into cases. And that's a substantial number of cases as well. I think there's probably a thought process that we just file everything brought to us. That is in fact not true at all. and again, that's not a commentary on law enforcement. They handle difficult scenarios and they bring it to us, and sometimes we make a decision, hey, that doesn't warrant a filing or it doesn't arise to a filing. But those kind of evaluations take substantial time as well.
And you're confident that getting rid of, well, you don't have the two because you haven't been able to fill the spots, but do you think that just having the 3 attorneys would be adequate? I'm just really concerned that if we agreed with this and got it in, then next year or something, you're gonna tell us that 3 people can't do it?
I understand your concern. I believe so, because I think I'm gonna get a better applicant. Okay, I'm gonna get somebody who's more tied to the job, who is interested in being a career prosecutor. The folks that generally, like I said, the 4D spot has historically been a stepping stone. Okay, and we've gone many periods of time without a 4D attorney, where our office just has to pick up the slack, and we've been able to manage that very effectively. What I can't do is have 2 attorneys, or have a slot open for a long extended, 2 slots open for a very extended period of time, because I'm going to have trouble getting two attorneys at this price. I'm going to have trouble getting that. And that's a statewide problem.
I'll make a motion that we accept the proposal presented by the prosecuting attorney, Mr. Coughlin.
I don't know what 4D represents.
Okay, and
$40,000.
yeah, the 4D attorney is the child support enforcement. Okay, and we can utilize that person for other things in our office, and we do. Simply put, the 4D caseload is much more manageable. Okay, because most of those functions are done by staff, which is separate from the prosecutor's office. Well, I mean, it's part of my office, but it's separate. So
Is that the paralegals?
no, it's a separate staff. The 4D staff, they're self-contained and they operate on their own. You can go to my office and the 4D staff never ever they never interact with the prosecution side of my staff. So, and if you go to our building, that's why the building's set up that way. It's 2 separate offices, but it's maintained by me. The 4D attorney slot can and does function in both offices, okay? And given how the caseloads are, the 4D attorney, if they did just 4D work, I can tell you that they would probably be wanting for things to do. That's why we utilize them as kind of like a utility infielder in baseball or a utility player. They can play anywhere, and that's kind of what we do here. And if I get that, like I said, if I get the raise, I think I'm going to get somebody who wants to use that as a career spot as opposed to just a stepping stone to a different position. And again, if you decide not to, I think what I'm going to have is I'm going to have 2 slots open at the 83, and that's going to be hard to fill both. I would rather just fill 1, take care of that problem, from my perspective. And I think it's going to be critical here in another week or 2 weeks. And we'll just have to manage it however we manage.
No second?
Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second.
Mike Stewart.
Second was Tom.
Yes, this is.
Well, we've had quite a bit of discussion. Is there any other discussion?
I'm willing to answer any questions. I'm absolutely.
It's a no-brainer. You don't deal with it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 6-0. Thank you for,
No, thank you, and I mean it sincerely. It's,
pardon? Is that part of it? Is that included in him saying the motion was to the proposal? She like,
All right, for the record, I'm gonna make a motion, we remove the deputy prosecutor position out of the prosecutor's budget from the salary ordinance, since that motion passed.
The person will be paid effective immediately with the salary schedule.
And the person will be paid effective immediately with the salary schedule amendment.
Both those are two separate.
yes.
My first motion is gonna be to remove the deputy prosecutor out of the salary ordinance from the prosecutor's line item.
Okay.
That's my motion there.
Second.
I just wanna make sure if that person is hired before that salary schedule, that we are good with it.
Yeah, I think that's approved, the motion, the first motion.
For sure.
So you have a first and a second on my ordinance. Yeah, Mike,
Yeah, keep moving.
we need to vote on it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0.
Logan, do you have everything you need?
Thank you.
Adding or changing positions in the middle of a meeting with short notice is one of my favorite things to do for the last 20 years. Yeah. It's always a challenge, so thanks everybody for being patient. Gibson County Volunteer Services, Carrie? Volunteer Services for Animals, excuse me. He's gonna come next month. That was actually stricken from.
Gotcha.
Good morning. I just kind of have a brief summary. A lot of information's already been presented through email to the
Carrie,
council.
yeah, we're gonna have, let's move that mic down.
This way? I'll let you do it. Okay. Is that better?
Yep, stay that close to it.
Okay. So good morning. The council has received several emails from members of Gibson County Volunteer Services to Animals, as well as the general public regarding their concerns with the Gibson County Animal Shelter. The commissioners wanted to make sure you were aware of the issues, to make sure all could see why change is needed now. All of the information sent should provide a deeper understanding of the serious concerns, including shelter operations, including housing dogs outside and operating way over capacity, lack of protocols, lack of employees to adequately care for the number of animals present at the facility, lack of training for employees, including no training for the ACO officers, lack of intake procedures for incoming animals, moving current shelter operations. Is that my mic? No? Okay, I'm just gonna continue. Okay. Moving shelter operations to the new building is a recipe for disaster. There are legitimate concerns about the setup of the new shelter.
Let's see if these go off.
Okay. There are legitimate concerns about the setup of the new shelter. Some decisions made have set up animals for exposure to increased disease spread and stress, as well as stress to the staff who must attempt to keep that space clean. Funding to finish out the current building has been a concern. This also raises the question of how the current system will be able to run things in the new building with the increase in electric bills and maintenance, which will be on a much larger scale. The county needs to step in now, immediately. Humans have attempted to voice concerns to get animals the help that they need because they cannot speak for themselves, and we're just here to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Correction of salary schedule amendment 3 is the next item on the agenda.
Hello, this is just housekeeping correction of a transposition, no actual changes. Also, I caught a couple of 2005s and changed those to 2006, so just a little bit of housekeeping, really. Anybody have any questions?
Motion,
No dollar figures.
A dollar figure did change.
Transpose
Transposition,
digits.
it was put in as 429 and it should have been 249, but no,
this
correction
is to
here.
reflect what we had voted on.
Correct.
Just to correct it.
There you
Okay.
go. To reflect what you guys had voted
I'll
on.
make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve the amended. Pardon? Bob second? No. Yeah, Bob did. To approve the salary schedule amendment 3 for 2026. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a record low for salary amendments in July, so. Transfers and additionals. All right. Personal services and out-of-series transfers, from 9114 Pathways to Freedom Grant, 11,300 part-time into Pathways to Freedom Grant, 35,000, contract services in the amount of $62,400. From 2502 prosecutor deferral fee, 40102 office machines into prosecutor deferral fee, 30507 laserfish, $4,505. From 1200 supplemental public defender, 12102 trial attorney fees into supplemental public defender, 33306 contract attorneys, the amount of $30,000. From 1176 motor vehicle highway, 0533 general and undistributed into 36101 garage and service, from 36101 garage and service into motor vehicle highway, general and undistributed computer software, that's 44201 in the amount of $948.48. Then I have jail part-time into jail overtime in the amount of $3,000. I have in the county sheriff's budget 05 from 31302 returning felons, and from county sheriff dues and subscriptions, I'll bet 6,600 from returning felons and 5,000 from dues and subscriptions. Into County Sheriff 13400 UHP part-time in the amount of $11,600. Those are all items that are on. I don't even remember how many years ago, Tom, we voted that if we were moving out of the series or into the series for personal services that control salaries and things like that, that we would approve it at a meeting and have it brought before us so we could see what was happening there. So the only one I don't understand here would be the Pathways to Freedom Grant. I don't know if anybody's here to discuss. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear the part about the transfer. I can tell you that Pathways to Freedom is a grant that we had with the opioid grant, and we're trying to work spending the money from ARPA as it goes down and moving some of that over into opioids, so that's kind of where that's probably coming from.
Got it. Okay. Any discussion or any reason to pull any of those out to discuss separately?
I'll make a motion to approve transfer.
We have a motion to approve the personal services and out-of-series transfers from Derek McGraw. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Bob Schleter, seconds. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 6-0. Then we have the additional appropriations from the resolution. These have been advertised, correct? Or am I on the wrong? Yeah, I am. Okay. Motor Vehicle Highway Fund, 4,000 capital outlays, the amount of $105,001. 1220 County Offender Transport in 3,000 other services and charges, $5,000. Sheriff's Fleet Maintenance Fund in 3,000 other services and charges for the amount of $60,000. 4013 I-69 Projects Fund in the amount of $1,900 from other services and charges. Then 4104 Pocket of Need Donations Fund, 2,000 supplies in the amount of $129. 4106 Health Fair Donations Fund for supplies in the amount of $1,894. And then 8903 COVID-19 Response Fund in the amount of $1,523. These were discussed in June and advertised.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from McGraw, second. Stillwell, that was actually Stillwell. Look at you, yeah. All in favor, or any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? 6-0. And then do we have additionals for, is this for next month?
We need permission to advertise for those.
And then we have some appropriation adjustments and additionals. Fund number 8115, HAVA, account 22,000, description supplies in the amount of $2. The notes say dormant fund. 4905, Gal Casa, Superior Court, 44101, equipment, $5,184. That's also a dormant fund. 4105, Gibson County Safe Kids, account 22000, supplies in the amount of $3. That's also listed as a dormant fund. 4015, collection agency fees, $22,000, supplies, $1,681. That's also listed as a dormant fund. Then we also have in 2502 prosecutor deferral user fee, 40102 for office machines in the amount of $10,805, 1200 supplemental public defender service, 30107 building construction in the amount of $25,000. Do we have anybody for prosecutor deferral user fee, the 10.8? Did we have a note on what that was for? By chance? Office furniture? Okay. For the one we approved today, or no? Okay, got it. And then building construction for the public defender service for $25,000?
That's me getting, asking to get money from my public supplemental fund to the county to go into, all right, Christie, to go back into the building construction fund.
Makes sense. Okay, perfect. All right, we'll accept a motion to approve,
So moved.
or to advertise, excuse me.
I'll make a
McGraw.
motion to advertise.
Is there a second? Second. Schleter, motion to advertise. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 6-0. Motion carries. And that is all of the new business that we had. If we don't have any other new business or public comment, we will adjourn, take a 5-minute recess, and commence the budget hearings.
We can do public comment.
I asked public comment if we don't have. No public comment. Did you say motion to adjourn? You did.